Something extraordinary happened in 1989. Amid a shifting global order, world leaders joined together to make a historic promise to the world's children. By adopting an international legal framework, the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, they made the pledge to every child to protect and fulfill their rights. The convention has received the most ratifications of any human rights pact in history. It has prompted governments to modify laws and regulations and invest in order to ensure that more children receive the health care and nourishment they require to live and thrive, and that greater safeguards against violence and exploitation are in place. It has also given more children the opportunity to speak up for themselves and engage in their communities.
My name is Eliza May Manyo from Breakout 2, the Convention on the Rights of the Child. This is an international convention that defines children's civil, political, economic, social, health, and cultural rights. It is built around general principles. It covers the right of the children. These explain who children are, all their rights and their responsibilities. All the rights are connected, they are all equally important, and they cannot be taken away from children. Like in Article 24, state and recognize the right of the child to the enjoyment of the highest attainable standard of health and to facilities for the treatment of illness and rehabilitation of health. This convention became the most widely recognized human rights in history and has helped transform children's life. So the hope, vision, and commitment of world leaders in 1989 led to convention. They must commit to action to make sure every child has every right, that every child has the right to a standard of living that is good enough to meet their physical and mental needs. Thank you.
My name is Leia Martu from Breakout Number 2. The UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, 1989. The main importance of it to recognize the rights of children and ensure that they grow up in a state of peace, dignity, tolerance, freedom, equality, and solidarity. The convention has 54 articles that cover all aspects of a child's life and set out the civil, political, economic, social, and cultural rights that all children everywhere are entitled to. There are 4 articles in the convention that are seen as special. They are known as the general principles, and they help to interpret all the other articles and play a fundamental role in realizing all the rights in the convention for all children. They are non-discrimination, Article number 2, best interest of child, Article number 3, right to life, survival, and development, Article number 6, right to be heard, Article number 12. Thank you.
1989 UN Convention of the Rights of the Child. We know that every child has rights, whatever their gender, religion, and other status in life. For me, child has the right to be safe from violence. In the Article 19 of the UNCRC states that protect the child from all forms of physical or mental violence, injury, abuse, maltreatment, or exploitation, including sexual abuse, while in the care of parents, legal guardians, and other person who has the care of the child.
The article recognizes the need to care and protect the needs of the children, to ensure that these children will be given their rights regardless of their ethnicity, cultural background, race, religion, gender, and so on. So why is it important? It's important for us to accomplish that every child will be given the proper care, the proper knowledge, for them to grow up into a very healthy environment.
The United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child was founded by Eglantine Jebb, which provides and maintains the protection for each children who are so-called human rights holders, and is now known as the world's most ratified human rights treaty. It is only right and just that we have a special convention for our children, not only because they are our future, but because they are humans who deserve to live a life wherein there is no violence and abuse. They are not silenced, and their cry for help will be heard.
Convention on the Right of the Child sets out the right that it must be realized for children to develop to their full potential. The Convention offers a vision of the child as individual and as a member of family and community, with rights and responsibilities appropriate to his or her age and stage of development. By recognizing children's rights in this way, the Convention firmly sets the focus on the whole child. The Convention recognizes the fundamental human dignity of all children and the urgency of ensuring their well-being and development. It makes clear the idea that a basic quality of life should be the right of all children rather than a privilege enjoyed by a few.
The UNCRC. It is the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. According to the article that I read, just to summarize it, it is prioritizing the right of every children living in this world, no matter who they are. So what is contained in the said topic? So they are protecting the life, survival, and development. Of course, you have to protect a child's life so that they can be able to reach their dreams in the future, so that they won't be distracted. They can always survive and develop more. Develop more is that to be much marvelous on their own. Protection from violence, abuse, or neglection. Of course, if they are under violence or any abuses, they are distracted by reaching their dreams. Remember that every child is the hope for the future. An education that enables children to fulfill their potential. Of course, education is important so that we can able to get jobs after graduating. Be raised by or have a relationship with their parents. Every child needs a guidance. Even me, I still need a guidance from my parents so that I can able to reach my dream. It is easier to have guidance and looking towards you, protecting you while reaching your dreams. Express their own opinions and be listened to. Not just because you're a child, you're a young people, doesn't mean we don't have the right to speak up, because not all the time all people or adults is always right. We have to listen to children and prioritize their needs so that they can able to be good. Thank you so much.
Good day everyone. Today's topic is all about economic rights, specifically about the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, which is an agreement by countries that have promised to protect children's rights. Poverty has a severely negative impact on a child's development. Their health and education can suffer, as can their ability to fulfill their potential and participate in society, both when they are children and as they grow into adulthood. They are regarded as second-generation economic rights, protected by the government to ensure the fulfillment of basic needs like sustenance, housing, education, health, and employment.
Children are the world's most valuable resource and its best hope for the future. But children worldwide suffer insidious forms of violence, exploitation, and abuse. Violence knows no boundaries. It happens in every country and in the places where children should be most protected. That is why CRC are relevant and needed. It is an important agreement by countries who have promised to protect children's rights. The convention explains who they are, all their rights, and all the responsibilities of the government. In the Philippines, on June 17, 1992, a special legislation was created to further protect the Filipino children from all forms of abuse, neglect, and exploitation. Since then, and because of the Republic Act 7610, a lot of changes have taken place. The government and its branches have issued laws, rules, resolution, and guidelines championing the right of children, because every children has a right to health, education, equality, and protection.
The Convention has 54 articles that cover all aspects of a child's life and set out the civil, political, economic, social, and cultural rights that all children everywhere are entitled to. It also explains how adults and government must work together to make sure all children can enjoy all their rights. Every child has rights, whatever their ethnicity, gender, religion, language, abilities, or any other status. The Convention must be seen as a whole. All the rights are linked, and no right is more important than others. The right to relax and play, Article 31, and the right to freedom of expression, Article 13. have equal importance as the right to be safe from violence, Article 19, and the right to education, Article 28.
The convention was created with the intent to provide a framework for the countries worldwide to follow with respect to children. The right of children are rarely enshrined in constitutions of the countries in their jurisprudence, especially for the conventions is built upon four core principles of the non-discriminations, devotion to the best interest to the child, the rights to life, survival, and development, respect for the views of the child.